What's good, guys? Day 13 here in Belgrade, Serbia. And since then, I've been with three different women. I have had my fourth Serbian woman date tonight. But just to give y'all an update on how that's been going and kind of what's my overview, like my opinion on dating Serbian women. So I would say it's kind of hard to really like determine exactly kind of the trait, like the main kind of way Serbian women are, because I would say each of the dates that I've been on have been very different. So one of the first women, she was extremely into me. Like she was the one that kind of like almost asked me out, which was kind of cool. Definitely take advantage of that when you do get those type of women. And she's like always trying to like hang out with me. So I've been having to kind of, I mean, it's been cool hanging out with her, but I'm also trying to meet more women as well. So I've been kind of had to push her aside a little bit. But outside of that, the women here have been, the dates have been very well. I've had a lot of fun on each of my dates. But the thing I can tell you is that the initial, I guess, talking to before the dates have been not too exciting, right? The women here don't really show their emotion as much as like if you go to a place like Latin America, or like if you're coming from Brazil straight to here, coming off a trip to Brazil, it's gonna be extremely hard for you because the women are not as expressive as the women. I mean, they're not as expressive here as they are in a place like a Brazil, or even though Colombians can be shy, they still show a little bit more interest up front than a woman does here. So it's kind of hard to kind of gauge exactly where you stand with these women until you actually go out with them. Like once you go out with them, then you could see that they're actually interested. Well, before the conversation is kind of dull and they're just kind of like straight to the point. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you do come to Serbia. At least this is at least my experience here in Belgrade, Serbia, is that they're not going to show you too much interest at the beginning. But other than that, I would say generally they're not easy. These women are not easy. They're not into the one night stands. They're typically not into people that are just visiting here for a short time. So you definitely have to get around the question of, what are you doing here? How long are you going to be here? Because they're not, like I said, first of all, they don't care that you're American. They don't care that you're from Germany. They don't care about that. They don't really care too much about money per se here, or status, as much as some other places. Of course, it's still important. Of course, that's going to be important anywhere you go. But you can't just lean on that and like you can other places. So that is a key thing to note, is you can't lean on your status. You definitely got to have things going for you. You got to have the appeal. You got to be attractive. You got to be a high value. You got to carry yourself as a high value man. You got to be confident, because these women know they're beautiful. They're not stupid. These women know that they're very beautiful women, and they expect a guy to match that, or actually to be above that, and what he's able to provide. And this is exactly what I've noticed. Like they generally don't care. They're very tough women. But once you get past that, once you get past that first date, it's all golden from there. That's all. Once you get past that first date, they're all golden from there. But one of the things that I have noticed is they start getting fairly territorial. They will see that, they won't see, but if you, like I said, if you're pushing them off while you're still here, they're gonna question like, what are you doing, and all of that. So I've definitely been getting a lot of that, but it's just the name of the game. So expect a little jealousy, because they know if you're met them on Tinder or whatever, they know you're probably talking to other women, just like they're talking to other men, but you know how that goes. So I've definitely noticed that as well. But other than that, like after the first date, it's nice because they're totally down to like hang out again, totally down to do things with you, show you different things, show you different places in the city, just give you good recommendations. So overall, it's been a great experience dating them. Will I say it's the best place I've been? No. Will I recommend it if you were into Eastern Europeans? Yes. But is there better places? Yes. But like I said, it's still a good time, and I would still recommend coming. If I would say this is not a place for the amateur. You got to be a little more experienced. You got to have your attraction on point. You got to have your mindset on point here because you're going to get a lot of rejection here just because the women are very, I wouldn't even say they're flaky. The women here aren't flaky, but they're very just, I would say, ignorant in a sense of, especially if you look like me or you're outsider that they don't see much of. They honestly are kind of, I would say they're kind of shy to meet you, especially if they don't speak English too well, which honestly hasn't been too much of a problem here. Every once in a while, I'll run into a girl who says she doesn't speak English too well, so that's kind of her pushback on actually accepting a date. But other than that, that's probably the main like hurdles that you're gonna have to jump in order to get dates here in Serbia, here in Belgrade, Serbia. But other than that, I think it's a good place. It's definitely a good place to come. It is something that I would say do in the summertime. The weather is absolutely great. It's a lot of sick cafes, which are cafes usually they do like coffee and alcohol. So a lot of dope spots in the city center to check out, to have date spots that you can just walk to, easy access. And what I always recommend guys do, especially in a place like here, stay near cafes so you could set the dates near your place. It just helps logistically when it comes to getting there, leaving, and then when it comes to like, oh, you want to bring her back to your place, I usually hit them with, yo, I got some wine back at the spot we can sip on in the night with. And especially on a second date, 100% yes. 100% yes on a second date. If you don't get them to come straight over and have wine at your place, if y'all go out again, it's going to be 100% yes. And then on a first date, maybe it's 50-50 if they come back or not. Because like I said, they're not really into the one-night stand thing. But they're still open to coming back if they obviously feel like you're a pretty decent guy. But other than that, I would rate it like a B. I would give Belgrade, Serbia a B so far. I have 16 or 17 more days left, so I definitely will have more just knowledge on the whole scene here shortly. But other than that, it's been a good time. I've definitely enjoyed myself. I have not struggled with getting dates. I honestly struggle with trying to juggle the timing of everything. And I might end up messing up some because I end up having to push some aside. And then but it's a good time. All I'm gonna say is if you have your stuff on, like you have your stuff together, you won't have problems getting dates here out in Colombia. But if you're amateur, I said Colombia, wow, sorry, out here in Belgrade. But if you're an amateur, you might. But let me know what you guys think of this video. And if you guys need any more insight on dating here in Belgrade, Serbia, just hit me up. But thank you guys. Until next time, take care.